the PT. So we're getting that PT that we saw a little bit earlier. Not going to be the Alex that got him here.
So yeah, there seems to be a ton of switches here from Barking Frog in bracket, and it definitely has felt like PT has been the favored selection. And in this matchup, I'm not sure what to think about it. How about you, Nerd? Do you think that Squirtle's going to have the mobility to get around the barrage of fists from Pink Fresh's Min Min?
Nope, statistically not so far. We are going to rely on Charizard, and that's going to be a, nice little snag, but it's not over yet. Got to get yourself back in there.
Can we talk about how these arms are just demolishing Flare Blitz? Good God.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Flare Blitz, it has that hit detection where it's like, as soon as it activates, it explodes. And so you are able to use that big power of that arm that goes outwards to distance yourself. You are not in danger of getting hit, and also trigger that.
Plus the disjoints, it felt like actually just actively beat it out.
Beat it out at the end, yeah, because you hit him and then he's sitting to like a knockback and then you hit him again.
Nuts. Oh, that's definitely what Barking Frog's going to be looking for, though. Those pickups off stage with Squirtle can be super solid. This character's aerials are not to be underestimated. And the neutral B very nearly claiming the stock of Pink Fresh. Wise to keep the double jump. As all mid-mins know, that is more valuable than gold.
Well, speaking of gold, this down air from Min Min. I've never seen such usage here, except Pink Fresh is just going crazy. Pushing the meta for this one, if I've ever seen it.
Oh, grab actually not going to get that roll through. It looked like Barking Frog reacted appropriately, but the space was ever so slightly off.
Uh-oh, can't get that Dragon Laser.
Ooh. Now, this is a Pokemon that I think is going to struggle because Ivysaur has, like, no mobility. He has no mobility and very few disjoint tools. And then Zard, like, gets intercepted but with his up B not having the armor necessary to beat out that Ram.
The thing with Ivysaur is he's got Razor Leaf, and that's why we're so reliant on it here, is because you need that. However, I mean, Pink Fresh has been able to get around it. He's muscling right through the armors, kind of disregard, and you are now having to get in with a grab. So a dash grab it's risky, but he gets it.
And then running all the way off, but unable to land a single blow as Pink Fresh knows when to swing off stage.
Yeah, I kind of almost expected a switch to Charizard there in that last one because...
You're just dead. Holy heck. Pink Fresh putting on a clinic of how to edgeguard PT with Min Min. That did not look close the second he was off stage.
Why is this such a stacked Xanadu, and yet there's 3 stocks aplenty?
I mean, it just felt like a matchup thing right there. Like, Pink Fresh clearly understood. He's played Puppe enough to know the vulnerabilities of each of those 3 mons off stage.
Of course. But even beyond that, it's just like we've seen so many just dominant games all over the place. It just feels like no matter what, you know, one player seems to just be taking the momentum and absolutely running to the finish line with it in one fell swoop. However, the Galaxy music...
This is one way to go ahead and bring it back. Nice little change in both scenery, change the character, and then change the music.
Yeah, that's right. I think we get the full swap here, and now Small Battlefield is going to be the stage we fight it out on as Alex.
So I've heard that, like, there's been a little bit of a change-up. It feels like some Min players think that this is a really bad matchup, while some Steve players also don't think that this is a good matchup. I come down more on the fact that Min tends to win this one a little bit.
Okay.
But yeah, this is definitely a volatile matchup, we'll call it.
Yeah, I definitely would believe that this is one of those chaotic evens, right? It just feels like it's always something happening at once, and yeah, the advantage states are absolutely phenomenal for both players. However, by the flip side of that coin, the disadvantage states are abysmal, and now we're going to have to see if Min is able to use that minimal airspeed to get yourself back in, and
doesn't look like it.
Gives himself the stepping stool right back to ledge and goes right up above, skips all those steps.
Yeah, building a full ladder all the way up. Now, this is the problem, though, is like when Pink Fresh has the ability to play neutral, it feels like he is going to have the better tools. He's able to just like knock through those dirt walls effortlessly, but getting down is always going to be the issue, and Steve has a ton of tools to guard above him.
It was huge crazy. He was absolutely juking Pink Fresh in the air. I've never seen that movement. Barking Frog, you mad lad. I'm so excited because it's so fun watching him just like move around, but he gets hit by that. That's unfortunate. 65% on the board now on Pink Fresh, and the down air from ledge, like it's literally the jump from ledge down air. How is this working?
Yeah, I know. It's one of those where it doesn't seem like you should be able to get away with that consistently, but good God, these players making it work.
kicks. Like, you can't really do that with like a Corrin down there or a Ridley down there because they go straight down. They're not angled. So he's able to like cover himself and go in and actually do something because it's like a stronger move.
You know what the problem is? Because Corrin and Ridley aren't DLC.
You didn't pay $6 for that. That's
Exactly.
true. Okay, but hey, you paid $6 for this power-up, and that's going to be point-blank right in your face, air dodge, frame trap.
That's always the problem. It's like, that's been good since day one.
Yes.
Just immediate back throw. I have the empowered dragon laser, and I hope that you guess right, because if you don't follow my approach, then you're just dead.
I literally just jump with you, fall with you, throw out that arm, and if you're air dodging, guess what? Dragon laser for the secondary.
And if you're not air dodging, then I might just go ahead and toss out a ram, and then that covers so much.
Exactly.
But we are back to even, though, all of a sudden. So Pinkfresh started this game at a big disadvantage, getting walked across stage, but holding all the way out, SDIing and DIing away for his life.
But then gets caught by the command grab, and this is where things can get dicey here, Scavs, because, I mean, the diamond is so strong, and we got wooden blocks, which, as the set and the game progressed, I mean, these bigger and more powerful and stronger walls are going to be built, and that means that it's going to be harder for Pinkfresh to break through. Stone is so much harder for Minmin to deal with.
And then just gets away with that roll into the immediate run all the way across the stage. Pinkfresh understood that he needs a little bit of space to work with, but using that minecart to burst all the way back. And now Barking Frog has Pinkfresh off stage, trying to set up something fancy here with this edge trap, but no, the down smash, not going to call it out. The empowered minecart will get it, though. Barking Frog tossing out every option in the Acme order book to get Pinkfresh's last stop.
And you saw how much stone he had on that bar. It was like all stone and a little iron, which means he was literally loaded on resources that if he did need to do another edge guard, he just builds a wall and blocks it off. The tether grab can get you around some of those angles, but it's not foolproof. And Pinkfresh, he knows that inevitably he's going to be forced off stage to his doom. Barking Frog, the edge guards are starting to become stronger and stronger. Going with the Fire Emblem music. Okay, Final Destination will be the pick.
So now at this point, we've seen one counter pick here from Barking Frog. Is Pinkfresh going to swap characters now?
Doesn't look like it.
Taking a minute to consider it, actually, perhaps onto the Sephiroth.
Sephiroth. Wait, is this a thing?
Pinkfresh has played just about every DLC character in the game.
Well, I mean, true.
Pinkfresh just really likes messing around with a lot of characters, and I've seen him play Seph a couple of times, and it seems fairly solid. And this is another one of those matchups where it's kind of like a lot of people think that Sephiroth just does really, really well against Steve because big sword.
Right, and I mean, he's sort of like the anti-zoner character. He's very anti-camp. He is really, really good because he has this disjoint that no one else can really challenge. And right now, Steve is so hard-pressed. That Masamune can really cover all the way through, skewer those blocks, and poke through the extensions, but also just the outright hits.
Oh, the up smash. He recognized that Barking Frog was going to jump off of that platform. So smart by Pink.
Crazy stuff. Pinkfresh now starting to...
Well, that doesn't work.
Stage, though. This is not good. Yep, you have to double jump and then... Wait, we were going for a potential regrab there. Get yourself out of there, buddy. Wait, goes for another Scintilla.
These options from Pinkfresh have been so good. It feels like he's definitely practiced a couple things in this matchup.
Yeah, something is going crazy.
He does it
He
again.
catches that. Even
the Scintilla.
You can't jump over that because it catches above. Like, it catches so high up that he can't get past that when he jumps out of the minecart. That's like...
just nuts.
Low key. That's actually so good. Can he actually avoid that, or is that guaranteed?
It feels like he has to, like, preemptively jump out immediately.
Right. Or they're like, can he... I don't know.
Yeah, that just feels brutal. That's basically just saying, hey, you know that burst option that you used to get back to center stage? We'll stop it.
Exactly. Now I'm going to make it work against you. Has to go for the stone tool here and gets that hit with the shadow flare. Now goes around this minecart, but not able to benefit here. Quick blade dash to get himself back in. I love the coverage with these anti-arrows. Getting the air dodge, rather.
Barely missing with that back air. That's the one weakness of Sephiroth, is that back air is a bit tricky to place perfectly, but Barking is able to go ahead and grab that stock one for Pinkfresh, but he's got a ton more work to do.
All right, and now he's getting out of that combo, air dodging, but that might be showing his hand on the panic option just a little early. Barking Frog's going to be looking for those in the future. Got some time to play with here, standing on that block. Going with that, like, Elytra back to ground. Not sure.
I really like that jump reset, that little movement right there from Barking Frog. It's just the little things in his combo game that shows that he just understands how this character flows really well.
Yes. Oh,
the triple.
Yep, the triple hit. Now running up into the F tilt, not ideal, but has to go high, and yep, a back air.
Not high enough. Not high enough by a long margin. Yeah. Remember when they added Violet to the game, called her Distance Demon, and then added this character and Min Min immediately after?
Immediately after, yeah. They're like, we just created a new archetype. Here's 3.
Distance Demons. You missed
Distance
the S.
Demons. Yeah, exactly. They never used that term again, by the way.
I know.
They literally said Distance Demon once and then never again.
Also, Sephiroth killing Mario in like his reveal trailer actually had me audibly upset. Like, I was actually just like, they did this purposefully.
No way.
Another big sword character.
Sephiroth didn't kill him, though. It was just a fake out. Ridley, on the other hand, absolutely did straight up kill Mario. He's dead. He's straight up dead. Took that man's 3rd life. Okay, but Pink Fresh 2-1.
Who killed Luigi?
Sora! Ooh!
Okay.
Let's go. This is hype.
Okay, Pink Fresh's Sora is actually really good, too. Like, this is a legit character.
Yeah, I'm so excited for this one. I'm very excited. And we're going to Battlefield 2, which is a good stage for Sora. I definitely think that this character does okay against Steve. I think this is somewhat, even, but it could be slightly Steve favored. Sora, if he's able to use the magic to get around these walls and, basically invalidate them, that's great. But it all depends on how your spacing is, right? Because if you're able to kind of outspace and kind of stand around or fly around in the middle with Nair just outside of up tilt range, you can actually outspace. You can catch Steve.
The problem is just really going to be whether or not he's able to just get these kills. It feels like securing the stock can be a bit testy as Sora, and meanwhile Barking Frog, good God, once he has Diamond, literally anything he has will kill.
Oh, this is actually that song. This is the song that comes from the playing that other game, the Melody of Memory game. This is actually this was the extra song that they added in. If you play that game and you had the save data on the console,
the DLC.
This is this is the extra song that technically everyone else doesn't get if you didn't play that game.
Oh, that's cool.
That's cool.
These little touches, you can tell that the game was made by folks that actually respect the franchise.
Oh yeah. Oh, good call out there. Love that. Knowing that the Elytra can only go so hard angle down, so you are able to catch that with that scoop up.
Now, I've been really surprised that Thunder hasn't played a bigger role in here. It feels like every time Barking Frog puts up a wall, Pink Fresh doesn't immediately have that option out.
It's a mixed bag. I don't think Thunder really matters too much in this one. I mean, it can be used off stage to edge guard and catch Elytras, especially when you use it in the air, because the aerial version will have a closer concentration of those bolts. They'll be actually more close together, so that can be useful. But I mean, here we're not seeing it really pay off, right? Because it's got a lot of end lag, and that's where Pink Fresh is starting to become a little bit greedy.
Is able to get a couple of these multi-hit aerials, but I mean, we haven't seen a lot of the long neutral air conversions, the noops.
Right, and you don't need those.
True.
You really don't. You can intentionally drop your combos and just not hit them, and you can still win.
Oh, that is unfortunate timing.
Hey, but fortunate for Barking Frog, that was definitely all planned, all according to plan.
And look at this, the safe shield pressure from Sora is actually super sick.
Wow. Down tilt to up smash? That's not real. That's not real. Don't get it by that.
I mean, just hold in.
Yeah, down tilt to up air, I can believe. Down tilt to up smash, you're nuts. You're nuts. You're getting hit by that. Pink Fresh still able to get something here, but no, gets scooped right up in it. Kidnapped.
All right, so now Pink Fresh trying to apply some safe shield pressure here. He's just poking and prodding at Barking Frog's weakness, Barking Frog's defenses, searching for some kind of a weakness. But so far, Barking Frog's done a really good job of avoiding the big blow. He can get hit by these down tilts or something like that at max distance, neutral air, perhaps every now and then. But we just haven't seen the back airs or up airs confirming after any of these hits.
Wow, you can see Barking Frog trying to play it patiently, trying to wait for his turn and looking for that up tilt to get himself started. But even then, Pink Fresh evades. This character is so elusive. However, he's at a deficit, a significant one at that. He's going to need something, and the forward throw won't do it.
Did you notice how the freeze actually got rid of the wooden block that was the detonator? That's a super sick tech if Pink Fresh meant to do that.
That is pretty crazy. I wonder if that's because it's a freeze property. I wonder.
Or it could just be because I think it has a...
anything will do that.
I think anything will do that if it can hit it.
Gotcha.
So it's
if you hit
the disjoint.
Yeah, I see. Okay, cool. Makes sense. Oh, but good timing there. We're going for a punish on that.
203 though.
Yeah, Sora can't kill sometimes.
Finally.
with up throw, of all things.
Yeah,
and rage.
Just spot dodging the tether grab and then immediately getting a grab of your own.
All right, but this is still doable, right? This is still really good. You can see like there's pressure without walls. Like you can go for the Thunder. Thundogger is going to be really useful here, but we are getting a run-up grab. I like that. The damage can be there. Just need to catch this, get around that minecart, and we're all good. Okay.
Oh, but able to DI up, so the combo ends a little bit early. And Pink Fresh was doing a really good job of not being greedy right there. He didn't like immediately jump and try to get an up air.
Oh my god, you can see that. He intentionally like fast-falled, canceled his nairs, and yeah, he went for it. But Barking Frog, we're going to game 5.
So what do you think, Nerf? What did you see from the Sora right there?
I definitely think the Sora is cooking. I think that we're starting to get the conditioning, and that's where game 5, because we had a game to build that foundation. Game 5 is where it all comes to fruition. Pink Fresh is able to do that again, get his like little nairs, then intentionally drop his combos, get Barking Frog to air dodge or do something in a panic option or put himself in a bad spot. Then you just go for one of those bigger punishes, and then things start getting a lot easier. You take out that X factor of Steve before it becomes an issue. But Steve can be kind of crazy.
True, and I think it's a really solid analysis right here. I'm curious, though, Pink Fresh taking a moment to consider his options. Are we going back to the Sephiroth? Are we going back to the Min-Min?
I hope it's the Sora. I hope he sticks with the Sora. Will we see it? No, we're going Min-Min. Okay.
All right, so back to where we started the set.
Fair enough.
The wheel of DLC has ended back on Min-Min here as Pink Fresh bets it all with his main on Game 5.
That's right. The rotations will continue until morale improves, and Barking Frog in Game 5 back against the wall. I mean, both these players realizing that the walls are closing in on them both.
That is very true right here, Nerf, and it feels like this has been such a back-and-forth set. Like, there hasn't been a lot of, like, blowouts, really.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we've seen some pretty crazy 3 stocks, but not here. This has been down to the wire between the two, and this has been a revolving door of characters on both sides. Pink Fresh now reliant on what he has been. I would say significantly so. He's been the Min-Min guy for so long.
For sure. All right, Ram cutting through 2 times in a row, just eliminating Barking Frog's options to try to get back to edge, and then it sets up for the Megawatt Hammer, so an early stock, and look at the percentage differential, 24% only on Pink Fresh, as he got what he wanted, neutral interaction after neutral interaction, but then he misses a tech.
Exactly, and that looked like it could have been something that you'd see coming from a mile away. Still, Pink Fresh, unfortunately, falls by the wayside. Barking Frog, a nice call out with that anvil there to secure that one.
I mean, you could play neutral as much as you want, but neutral is nothing against Acme-branded nonsense.
Exactly, because that ain't even neutral at this point. You off stage, baby. This is disadvantage, and you are now in hell.
Exactly. Good neutral to go ahead and force Barking Frog to the corner, but I love that up B. He feels like he up B's a lot more preemptively than a lot of other Steve mains.
He popped him off the platform! Chase. No way you get that on that up B. That's crazy.
This time using the double jump immediately whenever Pink Fresh gets that back here, but actually felt like that comboed into it, didn't it?
It looked like it.
That's messed up. He actually comboed into the empowered dragon.
That would be kind of crazy. I mean, but you can see that quick little reflector. Pink Fresh trying to invalidate that tool among others. Barking Frog forced to go quickly to ledge and try to put the nail in the coffin against Pink Fresh. Still, these arms doing so much pressure. Now Barking Frog just can't get himself back to ledge.
He gets grabbed himself when trying to go for a pivot grab. A little bit unfortunate right there. But we're down to our last stock of the set. Pink Fresh has full stage control. Barking Frog separated from his crafting desk and not too many resources out of iron right now. If there ever was an opportunity to Pink Fresh, it would be right here. You have to make this count. And he does the snipe max distance with the dragon laser. Pink Fresh takes it in a nail biter in Game 5.
Very nice. Yeah. Barking Frog just kind of got outlasted again. The Min-Min tools were more than enough to deal with how he was playing that neutral, playing the disadvantage. It felt like even then, like he was looking for some of these blocks to give himself a little bit more time to stall, to delay off stage, and give himself the ability to get around the arms. But it's Min-Min.
Exactly. So before we hit into the next match, we got to go ahead and give a shout out to Free Tingle, who gifted 5 Tier 1 subs to the VGBC community. Welcome to the community at Redbird Streams, DK Will, Skip Talks, Pharma Horo, and Big Schnoz. And again,
DK Will.
Big thanks for the 5 gifties. And then Protagonist hit us up with the Prime subscription.
Okay, cool. Thank you all. Of course, remember, if you can, please support the VGBC stream.